Hello and welcome to Backlinking, the PKM podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about something I find really interesting. I have talked about pricing a lot previously, but I've never talked about lifetime deals, which I find really, really interesting on applications that often have a subscription model, but especially in early stages, they tend to offer a lifetime deal. Uh, I haven't talked about lifetime deals at all. But the reason for me wanting to talk about it is because I recently, like 3 days ago, purchased a lifetime plan and it cost me 250 USD, which is quite expensive. And a lot of these lifetime plans actually are quite expensive. The application I purchased a lifetime plan for was by design. I'm making a new video on them later, so that is coming, a full review, but it is an application I've covered a couple of times on my channel. And I will talk later about why I decided to go for the lifetime plan, but I have bought a few lifetime plans before. I have one for Structured, a daily planner app, which I'm not using, and also for voice notes, a voice note taking app, which I am actually using, and I'm really, really happy with the lifetime plan because that application works much better for my use case as a lifetime or one-off payment rather than a subscription. If it was a subscription, I wouldn't pay it because it does not fit my workflow. So I have an open office policy, so we sit next to each other and I can just pick up my phone and randomly speak out my notes, especially considering that I work from a co-work where no one else actually works in the same company as I do. Um, so that is one of the reasons, but it works perfectly as a one-time payment, and it was extremely cheap. I think I paid like 55 USD, and also Structured was around the same price, probably a little more expensive. I'm not actually exactly sure how much Structured cost me, but those weren't that expensive. They didn't feel like a huge investment. Like, of course, it is a lot of money for a lot of people, but 50 USD, and if I don't use the application, that isn't a problem. I will probably use it in YouTube videos as well, so um, it isn't that big of a problem. If you pay 250 or 200 or 150 USD and you use the application for a month, maybe two, that doesn't feel too good. And one of the reasons why I, like, a lot of the time, or actually not a lot of the time, I never recommend lifetime deals is because l- a lot of the applications that offer lifetime deals do it at a really early stage, like when they're first out or when one of their first versions come out, they offer a lifetime deal. And at that point, at like a really early stage for that company, it is hard to say whether or not that company, that application, will stick around for a few years. It is almost impossible to say whether or not it will be here in 1 or 2 years. Like, we've lost applications. If anyone remembers Clover, I actually used Clover. That was one of the applications I was able to stick around with for the longest. It got acquired by Figma, and I currently use FigJam as well, which is where I think they incorporated Clover. But I really like that application. I didn't have a lifetime plan for it, but I paid the subscription, and it just isn't here anymore. That has happened to a lot of applications. The second thing is that if I use by design as an example, which is 250 USD, and around 250, I think Luna Task is 220, Fabric was around 300. A lot of these lifetime deals are around like 300 USD. uh, Things like voice notes and Structured, they were really cheap compared to what's usual. But if I just use by design as an example, so by design was 250 USD. I found an AppSumo deal later, which was heavily discounted to I think it was 75 USD, which, like, if I had purchased that instead, it would be much easier to justify. It isn't that easy to justify paying 250 USD, but let's just take that as an example. So 250 USD, the pricing plan yearly was 72 USDs, close to 72 USD. For it to make financially sense, I will have to use the application for 3 or 4 years, if my math is correct. Uh, Probably 3.5 years, something like that. A lot of the time, you won't actually use an application for that long, especially in the time of AI where things are changing almost every single day. It is really hard to stick with an application for 2 or 3 years. I think you should probably, especially note-taking applications. I will get back to that later, but it is really hard. So that is the first thing, and the second thing is just that the the application might not be around, as I mentioned. So it is not only an investment, but you are basically betting on the company staying around and improving. So you're not only betting on the company, but also the team members behind it. So why did I end up buying a lifetime deal? So in my case, it is a little different. First of all, I like the application, but I will again get back to that later. But in my case, it is a little different because I make these videos and I plan to make these videos for a long time. I also do blog posts. I have some other ideas on the way. I have this podcast. So even if I stop using the application, having a lifetime deal saves me some money because I don't actually have to pay for the application every time I am making a video about that. So it makes sense for me in that specific way, just simply because I make videos. That is the first thing. So my risk is a little lower if I stop using the application. The second reason was that I really like the application, so I will do a video on it later. I will do a full tutorial and a review of it. But I like Notion. I like Obsidian. They are really flexible applications. I just have one huge problem, and that is that they are too flexible, and I would much rather organize them than doing actual work. So that is the first thing. The second thing here is that I need more structure than Obsidian and Notion can offer me. And with by design, I sort of get enough flexibility to use it as a project management tool, but also task management that makes it much easier for me to do daily planning and things like that. So I think it was worth it. I also had a couple of issues. So first I had a bug in my video. I did a first impression video about by design, and the team actually found that video. They fixed the bugs and they commented on the video that they have seen it and they've fixed it because it wasn't supposed to be like that. I also jumped into their Discord, and I think doing research, as I said, I don't recommend buying lifetime plans, but if you are going to do it, do your research. I jumped into the Discord, and I think the team behind the application does an amazing job at answering and giving support. I've seen a lot of applications that don't do that. So I felt really like I believe in the team behind the application. I might be wrong. I've been wrong so many times, but um, I decided that it was worth it given the fact that I needed an application like that. It really fits my workflow. It I believed in the team behind the application, and there is one other huge reason. I thought that investing a sum of money like that, investing 250 USD instead of, let's say, six, which is the monthly plan, I wouldn't like it would be much harder for me to change applications. I would feel bad about my investment if I jumped into another application. So that has been something I've been thinking about, and I told myself that if I found an application that would fit all of my needs, and that I thought I could stick with, I would, and that had a lifetime deal, I would pay a lot of money for that lifetime deal. I would invest in that lifetime deal in order to help me stick with the same application for longer. So that was another thing I considered to just help me stick with the application. I know that a lot, as I said, it is hard to stick with an application. I've had huge issues being able to stick with an application, so I thought that this might help me. Again, I might be wrong on all of the things I'm saying, but that was like the thought process behind the lifetime deal, uh, and behind purchasing the lifetime deal. So in and after purchasing it, I've had a couple of issues. I had one billing issue where I didn't actually get confirmation on my lifetime deal. I reached out to the team. They did a great job at helping me, so I'm really happy about that. Um, and I feel Again, I feel like I believe in the team behind the application. I don't think the application is for everyone. I think a lot of people, especially watching my videos, need more features, a more feature-packed application. But I think it is at least interesting to take a look at, because I think they do a lot of things right. As usual, I just have to mention that as a disclaimer. I don't do sponsored videos. They are not sponsoring the video. At some point, I will join their affiliate program. I just haven't gotten around to applying for it yet. I do affiliate links. I don't do sponsorships, so I'm not affiliated with by design at all. I just like the application. I find that it at least looks like it fits my needs. And I tried it for a while before I actually went ahead and I purchased the lifetime plan. But just in general, I don't recommend lifetime plans. If you are considering one, make sure to like really think about it, do your research. And I have I have some, or there is a reasoning behind why I do it, which most people don't have, and that is the fact that I make videos about productivity tools. So it makes more sense to me to have lifetime plans. Like if I could save money on all of the subscriptions I buy just to show off an application on a video, I would save a lot of money. So whenever I see an application I believe in, I always consider the lifetime plans, and I'm also lucky enough to sometimes get gifted lifetime plans, which I again mainly use for these videos. So I think that covers it for today's episode, and my thoughts on lifetime plans. I would love to hear your thoughts on these lifetime deals. Do you think they're worth it? Have you ever purchased one? And why would you ever purchase a lifetime deal? That covers it for today's episode. If you have any questions or anything you want to say, discuss, please do comment it down below. I will try to get to it as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching or listening to today's episode.